This article right here shows you how messed up this show is, just from the list of how powerful they think these characters are, or how the show has portrayed them. Now, I'm not going to read this article word for word. We're just going to go over the list, because the list is just, as you'll see, if you haven't seen this article, the list is just stupid, as I'm sure you can all figure out. But I do want to say one thing real quick. I think the show has done a terrible job of showing power through the one power. How do I say that? Or what do I mean? What I mean is, there is no real gauge to see how strong somebody is with the power through this show, because they have just done this I'm gonna wave my hands around thingy and white streams are gonna come down and then I'm gonna shoot them out. It doesn't show any skill involved. It doesn't really show, it seems like everybody gets the same mass amount of strings being called from the universe to power whatever spell they decide that they're going to do. Instead of showing any intricate weaving or anything, any skill being portrayed by the character, it's just, I'm going to suck this power up and then I'm going to blast out whatever the hell I feel like blasting out. Which is just, I think, a lack of creativity on the showrunners and everybody else involved in the CGI and the magic system that's being enacted here. There's a million ways you could do it, whether it was colors combining or showing them weaving patterns together to make a certain spell or whatever. They just chose not to do it. They went the easy way. Another questioning of where did the money go since everything looked like crap. But it's almost impossible to know who is the most powerful, except for, this person blew up more shit, right? So we're going to look at this list, and this list encapsulates another thing that's wrong with this show, because it's just a laughable list. There's only one person that's even close to where they should be, and well, maybe two, but let's go through the list. So, Wheel of Time, the show's 10 most powerful characters ranked. Okay, all right, here we go. Strap yourselves in if you haven't read this article. Okay, so we're gonna go to number 1. Soane Sanche, the Arlem seat herself, is number 10. Now, if we're to be fair to this list, if we're gauging by the things that have happened on the show, like using the one power, which is, I guess, what they're referring to, one power usage is powerful, I guess fine, she doesn't do anything. She is actually a pretty powerful channeler until certain events happen in the books. If you've read the books, you know what I'm talking about. But in actuality, she is the most powerful person in the books at this point, or even in this show at this time, because guess what? She is the leader of this giant organization of female channelers. So that, at this point, even in front of Rand, she should be, in my opinion, the most powerful character in this show, because she controls all the women that are doing all the channeling and harnessing all this power. If we're talking about powerful. But I guess we're talking about channeling, so she does nothing. So I guess she's level 10 here. 10 out of 10 if we're talking about just power with the power. Which this article also does say, let me see if I can find the line. One of the changes that could have a major impact on the story is the issue of overpowered characters. Well, I guess they are overpowered because they can just do whatever they want without using any skill, or how the amount of power they harness doesn't really matter. At least it doesn't seem like it. It just seems like if they suck in enough white goo that they can do whatever the fuck they want. So, and while the one power in the books is certainly powerful, the show has created its own version, and some characters may be far more powerful in the series than they are in the novels before. So right here, I don't know if this person's just talking out their ass, but it sounds like this article is acknowledging that the one power in the show is definitely not the one power from the books, which I think, unless you're blind, you've all noticed there's no Sidin and Sidar. It's just the one power, which is completely stupid. And, well, here we are. So I just wanted to, of course, go off on that side note rant. But let's get back to this list. So we got Soane Sanche, who is number 10, which is laughable. Okay. Then we got Leandrin. whatever. I mean, I get, if we're going, and then again, the thing is, I guess if we're going off one power usage in the show, shouldn't she be higher? She did some of the most powerful things, including stilling or gentling Logain in the show. But the reason I say is this list is laughable is she shouldn't even be on a list of powerful channelers. She's, whatever. Or powerful people. I mean, if it's powerful channelers, then I guess fine. So, but I don't want to spend much time on Leandrin because I hate her character in the show. She sucks. Every time I see her face, I want to punch it. She's so annoying in the show, and maybe that's intentional. She's annoying in the book too, but maybe that's intentional. But I don't want to. It's when I see her on screen, I want her off screen as fast as possible. There's a way to make a character you hate and are okay with seeing on the screen, and this is not it. So let's move on to the next one. And then, of course, we have Rand at number 8, which is just a travesty. And the reason he's number 8 on this list is because you've taken everything away from Rand that he's supposed to do that would put him probably at number 1 or number 2 at this point. You could argue Suan is more powerful because of her position in the White Tower, but the things Rand does at the end of Eye of the World would easily put him at number 1 power-wise, in my opinion. You can argue with that if you want. If you don't agree, let me know in the comments. But I think Rand, by the end of Eye of the World, the things that he accomplishes, not knowing anything, as soon as he, interacts with that pool of Sidin, he's number 1 without a doubt in my mind. But so he's number 8. he's not even top 5 so do you see why this list just shows why this show is messed up? Another reason to show why this show is messed up. The most powerful character in the series, probably in many series, is number 8. And I know it's the first book, but like I said, by the end of the first book, he is extremely powerful, and he doesn't know anything yet. Arguably more powerful than all of them at the end of the book. I don't even know about arguably. I think he probably is. So, moving on. Alana, whatever. Like, she shouldn't even be here. I laugh at the fan favorite of the Wheel of Time character Alana. Alana is not a fan favorite Wheel of Time character. She is a big nothing. Actually, I hate Alana because of some of the actions that she takes. I hate her. I hated her in the books. I don't particularly like her in the show. She is far from a fan favorite Wheel of Time character, unless I've missed something. You talk to people about Wheel of Time. Does Alana ever come up? No, because she's a nothing character. She's just sort of in the background, and she does a few things. She's not important. So no, not a fan favorite. She is good at sort of blowing her hands out and having those pyrotechnic ground shocks go off, so it looks like she's shaking the earth with her powerful one powerness. Bad special effects. She uses a lot of the one power in the show. I guess that makes her number 7. Okay, moving on. Are we seeing why this list is messed up? Let's keep going. Karini, Nagashi, Karini, is it Karini? Whatever. She dies. She's not that powerful. Oh, man. Whatever. I don't know much about her. I'm moving on. She shouldn't even make this list. Whatever. Moraine is number 5. Again, arguably in the... I don't even think arguably. At this point, she should be number 2 or 3, I would think, if we're going off channeling. Moraine is no joke. She's got a lot of skills that she shouldn't have. She knows a lot of things. She's studied a lot of things. She's a sneaky woman who is very skilled at what she does, and she means business. So I think 5 is too low for her in the Eye of the World. I think she should be higher, except for the fact that we're missing a few Dreadlords and Forsaken. Well, not Dreadlords, I'm sorry. We're missing a few Forsaken who should top out the list. But, of course, whatever. I'm getting off track. I think Moraine's too low. I think Moraine should be higher. But, I digress. Let's keep moving. What do you think? Moraine good at 5? You think she should be higher, lower? I don't know. I think she should be higher at this point in the series. Logain, number 4. I think Logain should be higher as well. I think Logain is probably maybe 1 or 2. I would only say 1 because Rand is not trained yet. He's just got his ability. Logain is extremely powerful. And I think that he is being... And even in the show, the things he does in the show, how is he not number 1 from the things he does in the show? Like, if we're just going off the show, he basically takes over a whole nation with the use of the one power. He does all these things. He breaks through the shield. He kills an Aes Sedai. He does all this stuff with the one power, and he's number 4. Number 4. All the things he accomplishes in the show, he's number 4. He takes over a nation and basically brainwashes the king into following him, making him think he's the dragon. He's powerful enough that he's fooled a whole nation of people into thinking he's basically a god. And he's number 4. What's that say from the rest? All right, so we've got 3 left. I want to know right now, before I go, if you haven't read it, I want to see what your top 3 are. Just from what... Just in the comments, list them. What 3, 2, 1? What are your top 3 if you haven't read the story? Or I'm sorry, if you haven't read this story and you've watched the series, what's your top 3? Now, take into account everybody that I haven't added yet or hasn't been on this crappy list. Also, I would suggest guess by power usage, not just by power. Okay, because apparently there are different things in this. Well, they are obviously different things in this article. But we're just going on power usage. Okay, number 3. I would do a drum roll, but I'm not going to. I don't care that much. Oh my god. Now, here's the funny thing for me. It's the wrong fucking picture. It's the wrong picture, people. Egwene Alvier, number 3, with a picture of Nynaeve. So not only the person that wrote this article not know shit or watched the series, the editor didn't either, because they put the wrong picture here. So the fact that Nynaeve is even on this list from where she is in the books at this point is freaking ridiculous. She shouldn't know anything about the one power right now. She's in the middle of denying that she even can use it. She has her block, but she doesn't have any of that in the show. So, since she can do holy healing bubble from of God, and she can heal anything, she can fight Machin Shin with just by shouting and wanting it to be so without any training or any skills at all. She is, well, sorry, I got mixed up. We're talking about Egwene. I'm looking at the picture. Well, put that all down to number 2 or number 1. I don't know which one it is. But Egwene should be the same deal. She's just coming into her own in the book. She's just coming into her own in the show. She's barely done any channeling. How is she number 3? Like, this is where you go, your list is all over the place. Is it power usage, or is it potential power usage, or is it power in the show by the end? All of these things don't make Egwene number 3. She's done a little fireball thing through Eminvalda, and that's it. And then they sucked the power out of her when they stole Rand's moment in freaking the fight at the end. The Eye of the World scene in Faldara was stolen, and it wasn't even her power. It was the chick sucking the power out of him. So how does that make her a number 3 power person, even according to their own rules, if it's power usage? She didn't use any power in the show. She's just learning. She didn't do it unless she healed herself from death, but we still don't know who the fuck that was, do we? So Egwene / Nynaeve, because I don't know which, maybe they got it mixed up. Maybe they meant Nynaeve and not Egwene, but they can't get their pictures right. So number 2, can you guess it? Number 2? Well, I got Nynaeve's picture right for Nynaeve. Nynaeve's made the list twice. Her healing bubble is so good she made it twice. Or maybe they just don't like Egwene's face. Screen Rant, what do you have against Egwene's face? I don't understand why you had to replace it with Nynaeve. Nynaeve is so important to Egwene, she takes the place of her in her close up for her list spot. Is that what we're saying? So I'm just gonna repeat what I did. They even say some of it in their freaking thing. Healing bubble and freaking fighting Machin Chin. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Anybody that's read the book knows how ridiculous it is. Nynaeve should be nowhere near the top of this list at all. On any list of power right now, she does become powerful, but like I said, she's in the middle right now of denying that she can even do it, and then she ends up developing the block that she blocks that prevents her from being free to channel. While she is strong, she is nowhere near this potential of being number 2 most powerful characters in this show or this series at this point in the telling of it. Okay, so number 1. What's number 1? What do you think? All right, here we go. The Dark One. So they can't. So again, this article shows it has no idea what's going on. Okay, the Dark One wasn't in the show. Okay, now this is also partially a failure of the show, and partially it is a complete failure of the show. It's not partially a failure of anything. It's a failure of the show to explain who the fuck Rand was talking to at the Eye of the World. Now, take book stuff out of it, whatever. At this point, right? The Dark One is obviously the most powerful entity out there in the world. Okay, no doubt. Okay, but the Dark One wasn't present. Okay, now the show fails to show you or tell you who this person is, except for in the acknowledgments or the title tracks or in the credits of the show on IMDb. This is Ishmael, Balsamon, whatever you want to call him. If you're going from power usage used on the show, he doesn't do anything except for, have a little freaking chat with Rand in some dream state. They don't do any, and then he gets nuked by Rand. So if you're going by the amount of power used during the show, he didn't do anything either. Okay, except for still Moraine, I guess. So okay. So I'm not arguing that Ishmael is the most powerful person in the show right now, because he is. But the way that it's hard to make a list like this when you don't know how to equate power to a character. Is it the amount they've used or the amount they can potentially use? Okay? Because you got Nynaeve and you got Egwene on the list. Egwene's barely used any power at all, but you had to put her at number 3, right? So, but the main part I have a problem with it being the Dark One is because it's not. And they've even said it's not. But people that, and I don't know that Screen Rant watched it because they obviously don't know what Egwene looks like, but they didn't do a good job at all explaining who it was Rand was talking to at the Eye of the World, because it wasn't the Dark One. Yet the Dark One makes the list as the number 1 with the picture of Ishmael. Now Ishmael, yes, should be the most powerful character right now. Okay, even though he's crazy. I'm fine with that. But the point is that's not what they said. Even if they put Dark One / Ishmael or Balsamon or something, made an acknowledgement that he thinks he's the Dark One or something, they did a terrible job with the main bad guy, with the main Forsaken in this show, and it's the classing of him as Dark One just shows that again, this article has no idea what they're talking about. I don't know why they keep, they want to try and keep it relevant. That's why they keep doing it. But you can just see how ridiculous this list is when, of all the characters that should be up towards the top, you put Nynaeve and you put Egwene above Moraine and Logain at this point. And Suan. These are, come on. Like, you get what I'm saying? There's no way. And the fact they're that high it shows what a garbage fire this show is, and is going to continue to be. And the fact that those two are above Rand is ridiculous. And everybody that's a fan of Wheel of Time knows it. Hell, people. Well, you know what? I can't say people that are fan of the show know it too, because Rand did nothing in the show, right? And Egwene really did nothing either, so I'm not really sure. I still need to be convinced why she's so high, But Nynaeve is throwing around magic bubbles and healing dead people and healing rooms full of people. So in the show, she's pretty damn powerful, which is ridiculous. That's my point. It's ridiculous how powerful she is with no training and nothing going on. No training, doesn't even know what she's doing, yet she can do all this shit. Well, thanks for listening, guys. I'm going to try, there's not a lot of Wheel of Time stuff popping out these days, but, anytime I see something pop up, I try to take a look at it and give you my thoughts. There's another thing that popped up that I'll be addressing here soon. Now that I have a little time, have a little break from work, so we'll have a few things coming out. Also have some more info on the White Cloak situation that I'm going to release here hopefully in a day or two. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate you all watching. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Please comment, like, share. I would appreciate it. And until next time, all hail the Lord Dragon, and we will see you next time.